Oh, you cylindrical humans, rattling the cage of geometry, night fell, a cinnamon-flavored toothpick, orbiting end over end, dark paths around core corporeal, blunting geosynchronous, energy-neutral cyberneticists for materiality, of weighty damped thwacks turned mantras chant, a grainy fluidity imaged in the eye after midnight is a sonorous blur absolutely mouth-wateringly ripe that, like the Big Bang, it is imminently poised to violently burst out into everything, vacuous sucker in the absence of space and time, entropous and tripitous sublucian decline that prick relentlessly, so searing frigidity that stings before life went online, and being absolutely fucked beyond belief was the single best indicator that you were deeply alive, feeling so wonderful, showering hope like rose petals from your eyes in tears over the freedom realized that in being fucked there was not anything that wasn't worth a try. Liberation attained when results kick you to the curb and let you to die. It's just late, sucked in aromatic October winds, peaceful anticipations blanket the vista of 2 a.m. when solitude is an expanse, possibly shaking hands, no, possibly shaking leaves that sound out crisper than the summer variation of themselves, raspier, harbinger, floweringly inward, centering small isolated cores of soul energy, and boarding up with plywood exoskeletal to face the low, light, sterile equalizer winter is cold and pervasive, numb separation, anxiety generator making tracks, spreading the gap, black as any embrace of night, peppered with dark matter, anti-protons hollowing out chasms in this universe where the warmth you had in mind waves, goodbye, truth, reality, just echoes as boulders rolling down fathomless crevice sides, and as they crack and crash, dull, thunderous, the drone mantra strains, recording the substance of everyday life. Everyday life doesn't cut it anymore. The unintelligible words that I've written on the page cannot seem to get life interesting anymore. Shredded toilet paper underneath the theft-proof dispenser. Most accurate model of consciousness fallen to a sticky restroom floor to ripen, seeded like the portability of piss, run through the venue of countless fast food restaurants, pennies strewn like enigmatic deposits slowly wearing into convenience store parking lots, worthless heads rolling in just so sick of I'm just so sick of thinking. Breakfast cereal. I am introduced to spiritual wasteland, walking the aisle of neatly stacked commodities deep in the heart of commerce, where the supermarket is like a house of worship, completely overrun with dogma, new experiences, old loves, just some hollow flea of scorn, naive, blah, blah, blender, ordinate, faced or fucked. Some word that begins with P. Fondle, ferment, beads, oil, farm, fart. Turn the page. The way you stand in that light fruit cocktail. Last week's macaronia and cheese gubbed in the drain strainer. Something symbolic that asks not to be touched, like shadow. The glorified absence of you, standing in that light. standing in that light a formulary of obstacles. Utility trumps usefulness. Visibility sacrificed in a car wash. Mechanized clean spinning like a sparsely needled synthesized polyester soaped up Christmas tree, inspiring wonder as its menace leaves no tracks but shine. At the supermarket checkout, reality shifted. The holidays became hollow. Passing conversations merged superficial gibberish. People with their lips pursed, leaning in toward one another, desperate to blurt out their surface meaning, no meaning in them, lonely, lost, solitary, in pain, uncomfortable otherness, stymied and small. Other ages bleed through in silence. I know the snow weight reduction plan is spring, and I found the whiteness of the refrigerator door, something that should be filled, something that should be filled with found objects. Shit-stained underwear is as fundamental to the nature of life as fly-specked drop ceilings in a studio apartment on the most funkadelic side of town. Socks before they hit the bleach, teeth that crunch in the apple, milked from the cow on the brink of something like Uncle Ben's rice. Turn the page again, and we find that when the blunt gives way to profundity, where does the intelligence to write it down spring into action from? Like the slightly warped beauty of some slimy water trickling out in a foamy cascade from a buried steel drainage tube to fill muddy gully, dork and refractory like a swamp mirror, lending mystic to all the fixed angularity of geometric construct, built to appear very weak on infrastructure. Personification should have more of a fiery aspect than the bland modularity of our surroundings, and they threaten to square off every natural curve, seeing natural beauty become a menacingly aberration, rudely shoved aside as unclean. Little oxygen left in any of our exaltations. I will just be a squatter in a dream I cannot fulfill. Don't you worry. There's a credit card offer that will help make destruction of the world go down a little bit better. If this is too depressing, don't worry. The future is coming. To know that impossibility is salvation, clouds and their flowcharts, noise and cheap chocolate. We get up and run, but no one knows where to anymore. It's all so non-referential. It's also, since process fell out of the favor, it's just always on asking for your energy. The different manifestations of repetition no longer flaunt themselves as evolution. The stain of human genome bleeds through each aspect of human distance. Statement that, when isn't the depth? When first the depth breaks over you. Youth. Some soulful strains of Pink Floyd. Moistened indexed finger held out to the wind. Anywhere mind blows, there is unbroken enthusiasm for futility. I really like that unbroken enthusiasm for futility. It's a cultured aspect. It's something one develops. It's a refined art of absolutely nothing, nihilistic, before one realizes it's not a compliment. It's like as if circumstances one were imbued with any significance. Whatever.